Alright, shut up you guys, I want to talk about K-pop demon hunters. I mean, let's be so real, you guys know what I really want to talk about. These guys! K-pop Demon Hunters is a new Sony animated film that has already developed a pretty strong fan base due to its creative plot involving strong magical female leads and cute boys for them to kiss, its respectful utilization of Korean culture both old and new, and its absolutely banging soundtrack. But one element has really captured the imagination of viewers, and by viewers, I mean me, and it's this duo. This tiger and magpie serve as a joint messenger for sexy demon boy Jinu to communicate with half demon, half pop star, half Buffy the Vampire Slayer Rumi, and later on in the film just kind of hang out with Rumi because, as all cat owners know, the person doesn't choose the cat chooses the person. We don't get a whole lot of information about where these two come from, how they came to work with Jinu, if they themselves are demons or some kind of other neutral spirit creatures. They don't even technically have names, although apparently while in production, the creative team referred to them as Derpy and Sussy. I did not know we were still using the term Derpy in the year of our Lord 2025, but there you go. But these guys actually have their roots deep in Korean storytelling and art, and the more we know about their history, the more we can deduce about why they are there and what they represent for our main characters. Disclaimer, I mentioned in my last video that I am very white, and this has not changed in the last few weeks. I do not have a background or education in Korean culture. I am just someone who's really into adorable fictional creatures who could definitely kill me. I'm going to be relaying some information that I've found from what I believe to be credible sources, but don't go regurgitating this in some history of Korean art 101 without doing your due diligence. And if you have any relevant insight, please share with the class in the comments. The motif of a tiger and magpie is quite popular in the Korean art form minhwa and even has a specific name, jakado. But these two aren't just paired together for the sake of chillin', like cheetahs with anxiety and those emotional support dogs they give them, or capybaras and virtually any other animal. The tiger in these paintings represent the ruling class, whereas the magpie represents the common or working man. This, of course, isn't the only example of tigers being used to denote leadership or nobility, but what's so important about these representations is that the tiger is always goofy as hell. That's right, the film didn't invent this cat being derpy, as the kids are apparently still saying. Jakado wasn't just about two adorable little guys hanging out. It was a commentary on social classes, specifically how the common man is often more clever and wise than the foolish ruling class. And for those fans of the movie who are wondering, no, in this traditional artwork, no one gets a little hat. So why does this iconic imagery appear in a movie about pop star magical girls in the form of Derpy and Sussy? I don't know which one of these names I feel weirder about saying. I thought it was Derpy because it's such a weird, outdated relic from like 2012 Tumblr and the My Little Pony fandom, but Sussy is also bad to say. I'm just gonna keep calling them the tiger and magpie. What do the tiger and magpie represent in this story? Well, there are several characters in the film that you could argue, like the tiger, have power and privilege, but are perhaps in need of guidance, and characters that have more limited power, but wield it with cleverness and occasional trickery, like the magpie. But only two of these characters seem tied together by fate, much like our animal friends, and they also are the two characters who have been chosen by the cat distribution system to hang out with the tiger and magpie. This is, of course, everyone's new favorite one true pairing, Rumi and Jinu. I get to say one true pairing if they get to say Derpy. It's not always front of our minds as we watch Rumi struggle with her cursed lineage, the pressure of her pre-assigned destiny, and a very high-maintenance hairstyle, but if there ever was a silver spoon, ya girl was born with it. She is the daughter of one of the previous generation's demon hunters / pop stars, and after her mom's death, she was raised by her mom's bandmate who formed the band Huntrix specifically for Rumi to lead. At the start of the film, we see her literally flying above a stadium of adoring fans in a private jet that would make Taylor Swift go, "Damn girl," and Donald Trump go, "Also damn girl." Side note, no one is concerned enough when this plane is torn apart. Like, cool that you guys can apparently ride a bunch of demon twinks to safety like ponies, but where is this debris going? Do you plan all your concerts next to an ocean just in case your transportation is torn asunder in the fight for good versus evil again? Rumi has power in the form of influence, money, background, and a really cool sword. And she is not dumb. In fact, she is arguably the brains of the group, whereas Zoe is the artistic spirit, and Mira is the mean pretty lady I want to step on me. But she is unsure of herself, and thus defers to others when it comes to deciding how to wield her significant power. There's a folktale that I stumbled across concerning the tiger and the magpie, where the tiger is trapped in some mud, and a human comes along and frees him. The tiger then says, "Thanks, but I'm gonna eat you now, 'cause I'm a tiger." And the human says, "Can you not? I just freed you." And the tiger says, interesting. Guess we should ask the forest. And the trees say, because the trees are characters, because it's a folktale, they say, "Yeah, sorry man, he's gonna eat you, because he's a tiger." But a little magpie comes and tells the human, if you don't want him to eat you, lure him back into the mud trap. So he does, and the tiger's pissed at the magpie, but what can he do? He's in mud now. The tiger's not exactly an upstanding character in this story, just a very, very hungry boy. But if there's anything to be gleaned from this experience, it's that if you're the person holding all the cards in a situation, you probably shouldn't let yourself be swayed, especially by those who have motivation to betray you. This is Rumi's big mistake when she internalizes her foster mother's words about how unacceptable her demon heritage makes her, when she lets her friend's unbridled hatred for demons influence her decision to keep her past a secret, and when she lets Jinwoo sow uncertainty in her. If she trusted herself to use her enormous power in what she judged to be a fair and correct way, well, we'd probably have a cute 20-minute film. Maybe put some more songs in. Maybe Ken Jeong gets a solo. If this wasn't enough to tie Rumi to the tiger, she's also literally developing stripes throughout the story. I know all the demons have these patterns, but I don't know, am I crazy to think that other demons like Jinwoo have more lightning-like markings, whereas hers are a little bit more like tiger print? Do I just really want to tie this metaphor up in a cute bow? Probably it's that one. Jinwoo was not born into privilege and power, quite the opposite. He was born into poverty and from an early age felt pressure to make a better life for himself and for his family? ? At first, he tries to make an honest living off his skills as a musician. His bird song, if you will. Do magpies even have like a cute bird song, or are they more squawkers? I'm actually friends with a bird person. Should I call her and ask her to do her best magpie impression? I could just YouTube it. Okay. When Jinwoo meets Rumi, he knows that he's up against someone with more power behind her, but he utilizes his cunning to make sure he and the Saja boys are always one step ahead of Huntrix. And although he himself is conflicted about his choices, he leverages Rumi's uncertainty and tendency to sway under others' influence against her. And to visually complete Jinwoo's connection with the magpie, his final and sexiest ? Appearance involves him in a traditional Korean hat called a gat or hungnip. White. He wears a traditional Korean wide-brimmed hat, much like the one we see the magpie wearing in the film, which allegedly Jinwoo made for the tiger, but that little rascal be stealing it. Now, this all may sound like I'm depicting our lead couple in an unfavorable light, with Rumi being spoiled and easily swayed, and Jinu being disenfranchised and manipulative, but here's the thing about Jackdaw. While the tiger and magpie are portrayed as contrasting and at times adversarial, the image of them together is actually a sign of auspiciousness and protection. These two characters together, one powerful in a very material way and one gifted with the power of intelligence, demonstrate a unity that brings safety and success. This is what Rumi and Jinu give each other and what allows them to defeat the demon realm. Rumi learns from Jinu the power of having faith in one's abilities and not letting that be swayed by those who believe that they know better. And Jinu, at his most physically powerful, uses his strength to save Rumi and the world. I mean, that didn't end great for him, but let's be real, it's nothing that a sequel can't fix. So what should we take from all this? Is it that Korea invented lolcats several centuries before the internet? Or is it that all birds look better with tiny hats? Maybe, but also that when people of different skill sets and walks of life come together, they have a far greater chance of success and of defeating evil than they do alone. And also, maybe they can kiss. Truly, though, you guys, this movie slaps. They didn't have to go so hard on the music for a family film. And the choreography. I feel like sometimes when dance is animated, they just ignore the laws of physics. And like, the laws of physics are kind of important to be able to discern how impressive a dance is supposed to be. Like in a cartoon world where I can just lift a giant anvil like Bugs Bunny, the lift from Dirty Dancing is not that difficult. In this film, the choreo is impressive, but like possible, as evidenced by the fact that you can see people doing it all over Instagram. So again, in a movie that opens with the leads jumping out of a torn up airplane and using demons as steeds to descend upon a stadium, I admire the restraint. What stuck out to you about this film? What do you think future installments hold? Are you proud of me for making a whole video focused around animals and not mentioning monkeys once? Do the names Derpy and Sussy suck as bad as I think they do? If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a delicious day. Didn't you used to have a hat?